Brother, ever notice the irony? We spend our lives dodging pain. Yet it's the moments that break us down that forge the man we're meant to be. Right now, watching this, you might be wrestling with something unbearable. Maybe you're in your truck after a grueling day, feeling utterly drained. Perhaps you're awake at 2 a.m., wondering why everything's falling apart so fast. Or maybe you're just exhausted from pretending you're okay when you're not, carrying a mask too heavy to bear. Here's the shift that changes everything. While most see their darkest moments as proof life's against them, the ancient Stoics saw a deeper truth. Our greatest pain often becomes our wisest teacher, guiding us to true strength. Marcus Aurelius, a man who led an empire yet faced personal tragedies that could crush anyone, wrote in his private journal, "The mind that seeks the good, whether it finds it or not, is honored by the pursuit itself." He wrote not for praise, but to remind himself that even in loss, in heartbreak, when all seems pointless, there's value in seeking the good. Let me be straight with you. This video might bring tears, and I'm not sorry for that. Sometimes, we need to feel the weight of our struggles to rediscover our inner strength. Every tough day you've survived is no small feat. It's extraordinary. We live in a world that urges us to numb pain at all costs. Scroll past what stirs you. Buy something to fill the void. Do anything to forget the feeling. But what if the pain you're avoiding is the gateway to your true self? The Stoics had no smartphones to escape into, no endless distractions to dull their suffering. When Marcus lost his child, when Epictetus endured slavery and torture, when Seneca faced exile and death, they had to confront their humanity head-on. In that raw acceptance, they found what we've forgotten. Pain isn't the enemy, and hardship isn't a sign of weakness. These trials are the raw material for your transformation. Right now, someone's fighting a battle no one sees. Another's grieving a loss that changed everything. Someone's facing a fear bigger than their courage. And another's wondering if they can keep going. I'm here to tell you what the Stoics knew you can. Not because you're superhuman, but because you're human. This isn't about forcing positivity or pretending pain doesn't exist. It's about learning to dance with hardship, finding meaning in chaos, and realizing the moments that break your heart might be expanding it to hold more love, wisdom, and compassion than you ever imagined. If these words hit home, hit the like button, not for me, but as a pledge to yourself that you're ready to face hard truths. Drop a comment to share your fight with courage. Share this with someone who needs to remember their strength. Subscribe to this channel, because we're building a brotherhood of men who choose growth over comfort. Don't skip any part of this video. Every word is crafted for someone who needs it. And that someone might be you. The points ahead aren't just ideas. They're a call to see life differently, to uncover strength you didn't know you had, and to realize that your sensitivity, your struggles, your deeply human heart aren't weaknesses to overcome. They're the raw power waiting for you to claim. Leave this comment to stand tall. My pain is forging my strength. Let me share the day that changed my life, so you might see why your worst day could be your greatest gift. It was a Tuesday. Why is it always a Tuesday when life decides to teach you a lesson you're not ready for? I woke up thinking it was just another day. By nightfall, everything I believed about myself, my relationships, my future, it all crumbled. You know that feeling when the ground beneath you vanishes, when the story you told yourself about your life no longer makes sense. That's where I stood. And maybe that's where you stand now. Here's what the Stoics understood: that we've lost sight of your worst days aren't punishment, they're revelations. Epictetus, a man who knew bad days, taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. He spoke as a former slave, his leg broken by his master, stripped of everything society deems valuable. From the depths of human suffering, he found something profound. When everything external is stripped away, what remains is the real you. Your worst day doesn't define you, it reveals you. It shows how strong you are when everything else falls apart. I remember sitting in my truck that night, crying like I hadn't since I was a kid, not the polished tears of movies, but rough, soul-shaking sobs from the core. In that moment of complete collapse, something shifted. I stopped asking why this happened and started asking what it could teach me. That question changed everything, turning me from a victim of circumstance into a student of my own life. The pain didn't vanish, but it transformed into something useful. The fear didn't fade, but it became fuel for courage I didn't know I had. Your worst day is trying to show you resilience you can't learn any other way. It reveals depths of strength that comfort never touches. It proves you're not as fragile as you think, not as helpless as you fear, and never as alone as you feel. Every man you admire, every story that moves you, every great figure you respect, they all share this. They had days when everything fell apart. And they chose what you're being called to choose now, to let the breaking be an opening. The gift hidden in your worst day isn't obvious at first. It's wrapped in chaos, tied with ribbons of pain, and arrives at the worst possible time. But inside that brutal gift is everything you need to become the man you're meant to be. Inside is the compassion you'll offer others in pain. Inside is the strength for challenges you can't yet imagine. Inside that brutal gift is the wisdom earned only by walking through fire and finding you're not burned, you're forged. Your worst day isn't the end of your story. It's the start of a stronger, wiser, more authentic chapter. If you're ready to let your hardest moments teach you, leave this comment. My worst day revealed my best self. Now, let's talk about why your sensitivity is your hidden strength. They've told you you're too sensitive, haven't they? Too emotional, too intense. Maybe they said it with concern, maybe frustration. But the message was clear. Feeling deeply in a world that rewards numbness is somehow wrong. Here's what I wish someone told you sooner. Your sensitivity isn't a flaw to fix. It's a powerful edge you've been taught to hide. Seneca, a titan of Roman philosophy, wrote letters to his friend with such raw honesty and vulnerability that they still move men to tears. 2,000 years later, he said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Those words weren't cold theory, they came from tears, loss, and pain only a deeply feeling man could understand. The Stoics weren't the emotionless machines people think. They were men of profound emotional intelligence, feeling everything but learning to channel it without being consumed. There's a difference between feeling deeply and being drowned by it. Your sensitivity lets you experience life in vivid color, while others see in shades of gray. What is your sensitivity? Really, it's your ability to notice what others miss. You feel another's pain in your chest. You're moved to tears by beauty. You sense wrongness before your mind can name it. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom no book can teach. Your emotions aren't random noise, they're signals. That anxiety about a relationship isn't paranoia. It's your gut picking up on truths your mind hasn't processed yet. That excitement for a risky opportunity isn't naivety. It's your instinct seeing potential others overlook. The world needs men who feel deeply. We need those who care so much it hurts. Because that care drives change. We need men who see the struggle behind a smile, who pause to honor a sunset's beauty, who feel injustice in their bones and act to right it. Your tears aren't a sign of frailty, they're proof you're fully alive. Your intense emotions aren't a problem to solve, they're a gift to cherish. Your ability to feel another's pain isn't a burden, it's compassion in action. Stop apologizing for feeling deeply. Quit trying to numb what makes you human. Let go of the lie that strength means feeling less. True strength is feeling it all and still showing up. Still caring. Still choosing love, despite fear. Still believing in the good, despite a world giving you reasons to doubt. Your sensitivity is your secret weapon because it connects you to others in ways shallow encounters never can. It fuels your ability to create, love, inspire, and heal, not despite your deep emotions, but because of them. If you see your sensitivity as your strength, leave this comment. My sensitivity is my power, not my weakness. Next, the art of losing everything and finding yourself. Every man faces a moment when what he thought was essential is ripped away. Maybe it's all at once: a job, a relationship, a dream, a loved one gone. Or maybe it's gradual, watching your old life erode until you barely recognize yourself or your world. I want to talk about that moment, because if you haven't faced it yet, you will. And if you're in it now, hear this. You're not falling apart, you're being realigned. Marcus Aurelius knew this better than most. He wrote, "Loss is nothing but change, and change is nature's delight." Those words came from a man who lost children, saw his empire falter, and faced betrayals that would break most hearts. He wrote them because he discovered something profound in loss. When everything external is stripped away, what remains is the unbreakable core of who you are. There's a painful beauty in losing what you thought defined you. It hurts in ways you didn't know possible, but it forces you to meet the real you beneath the titles, roles, possessions, and relationships that were never truly yours. Recall the day you lost what felt like your identity, the career you built over years, the relationship you thought would last forever, the future you planned so carefully, all gone in moments. You sat in an empty apartment, surrounded by boxes, feeling like a stranger in your own life. But here's what they don't tell you about rock bottom. It's solid ground. You can build from there. When you've got nothing left to lose, you've got everything to gain. When old strategies fail, you're forced to find new paths. When your old identity collapses, you get to choose who you'll become next. The art of losing everything isn't just about letting go gracefully, though that comes with time. It's about seeing loss as liberation. Every ending clears the way for a beginning. Every closed door points you to one meant for you. Every person who leaves makes room for those who truly belong. Loss isn't punishment for your mistakes. It's not proof you're not good enough, smart enough, or worthy. It's the universe's course correction, knowing better than you what you truly need. It's an invitation to stop controlling outcomes and start trusting the process. Picture a tree in winter. It looks dead, doesn't it? Bare branches reaching into a gray sky. No leaves, no sign of life. But beneath the surface, in its roots and core, life is at work. It's gathering strength for spring. That's you right now, preparing for your next season. If you're in your season of loss, you might feel empty, exposed, broken, but beneath the surface, where you can't see, you're growing roots deeper than ever before. You're preparing for a version of yourself you can't yet imagine. The art of losing everything is really the art of finding your true self, not the man you thought you had to be, but the one who knows his worth comes from within, who bends but grows stronger through life's storms. Right now, someone watching this is mourning a dream that didn't come true. Maybe it's a business that failed, a relationship that ended, a career that didn't pan out, or a life plan derailed by forces beyond your control. You're wondering if you're a failure, if you didn't try hard enough, if you're doomed to never get what you truly want. Let me tell you something that might sound crazy. At first, your broken dreams aren't failures, they're redirects to something better than you could have planned. Epictetus taught a radical truth: don't demand things happen your way. Wish them to unfold as they are meant to. He wasn't preaching passive surrender, but clarity clinging to one outcome blinds you to better possibilities waiting just beyond. Imagine a man chasing a dream for 3 years, pouring every waking moment into it, sacrificing relationships, health, sleep, and joy, all for one vision of success. Then it crumbles. He feels he's wasted his best years on something that was never his. Anger rises at the universe, himself, others living their dreams while his lie in ruins. But in that heartbreak, he can't yet see the new path opening, one more meaningful than he ever imagined. The skills he honed, the man he became, the resilience he built, none of it was wasted. It's the foundation for something different, something truer. Your broken dreams aren't proof you're lacking. They're signs you're being guided to what aligns with the man you're becoming. Sometimes, you must let go of dreams that aren't yours to make room for those that are. Think of a river hitting a boulder. It doesn't see it as defeat. It flows around, carving a new, often more beautiful path. Your broken dreams are teaching you what success can't. Your worth isn't tied to achievements. They reveal strength you didn't know you had. Wisdom born only from a heart that's been cracked, but chooses to stay open. Maybe that ended relationship saved you from settling for less than you deserve. Maybe the job you didn't get is steering you toward work that feeds your soul. Maybe the dream you clung to was too small for the man you're becoming. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt, or that you shouldn't grieve what didn't come to pass. That's part of being human. But don't let that grief convince you you're unworthy of greatness, or that all doors are closed forever. Your broken dreams are fertile soil for new ones to grow, dreams that fit the man you are now. Dreams that honor the strength you've forged through every shatter and rebuild. Trust the process. Even when the destination's unclear, believe life is working for you, not against you. Believe what feels like an end might be the most important beginning you'll ever know. If you're ready to trust that broken dreams lead to better ones, leave this comment: my broken dreams are becoming better ones. Next, why your struggles are sacred. I need to share something that could shift how you see every hard moment in your life. Your struggles aren't a flaw in the system. They're a feature, not something wrong but profoundly right in ways you haven't considered. We live in a culture that treats struggle like a disease to be cured fast. Pop a pill, buy a fix, think positive, escape the pain. But what if the thing you're fleeing is the most sacred part of being human? The Stoics had a concept called amor fati, love your fate. Not just tolerate it, not just endure it, but embrace it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept what fate binds you to, and love those it brings you." He meant your struggles aren't random punishments, they're teachers placed precisely for you. I recall sitting with a friend going through a divorce after 20 years. She kept apologizing for her tears, saying she needed to be stronger, blaming herself for not moving on faster. It hit me how we've been taught to feel shame for our struggles instead of honoring them. Your struggle is sacred because it's shaping you into a man you couldn't become any other way. That anxiety you carry, it teaches you empathy for those fighting invisible battles. That depression weighing on your chest, it deepens your capacity for joy that easy times can't touch. Every man who's changed the world, every teacher, healer, artist, leader, innovator shares this. They struggled. They faced moments of wanting to quit, doubting their strength, smarts, or worth. Yet they saw their struggle not as weakness but as proof of their capacity. You can't comfort someone in their darkest night if you haven't known your own. You can't guide someone through pain if you haven't lost something dear. You can't inspire someone to keep going if you haven't faced the urge to give up yourself. Your struggle gives you credentials no university can grant, wisdom no book can teach. You choose its meaning, let it make you bitter or wiser. Close your heart or open it to deeper compassion. You decide if it proves life's unfair or shows everyone fights their own battles. Your struggle is sacred because it's temporary, not that it vanishes completely, but it's always shifting, reshaping you into someone new. The man who enters a struggle isn't the one who emerges, and that transformation is the divine part. Right now, you're becoming extraordinary. A man who faces trials and sees them as refinement, not ruin. A man who meets his greatest fears and finds he's stronger than he knew. A man who's been hurt, but lets those cracks become where light shines through. Your struggle is sacred because it's yours. Crafted by the universe, believing you can handle it not easily, not without scars or tears, but triumphantly. Next, the courage to start over. There are moments when you realize you must begin again, not because you failed or gave up, but because you've outgrown the man you were, and the life built for him no longer fits. Starting over at 25 feels like an adventure. At 35, it's daunting. At 45, it seems impossible. At any age, when you thought you had it figured out, it takes a rare kind of courage. Seneca, who lost his career, status, and ultimately his life, understood this courage. He wrote, "Life is long if you know how to use it." He meant not just living longer, but living fully, even if it means starting anew when staying comfortable would be easier. Picture a woman in her 52nd, leaving a successful law career to teach elementary school. To many, that's madness. Why trade financial stability and prestige for a fresh start? But for her, it wasn't fleeing failure. It was answering a deeper call to work that reignited her passion. Starting over isn't erasing your past. It's weaving every lesson, every mistake, every skill into something that serves the man you're becoming. It's trusting yourself more than others' opinions, choosing growth over comfort, possibility over safety. Maybe you're sitting there now, knowing you need to restart something, a relationship long dead but clung to out of fear, a job that pays but kills your spirit, a version of yourself others expect but feels like ill-fitting clothes. Starting over isn't giving up. It's growing up. It's the difference between settling for what is and building what could be. It's surviving your life versus truly living it. The world needs men with the courage to start over, showing us it's possible to break free from past choices or others' expectations. You prove we're not bound by our first decisions, our mistakes, or what others think we should be. You show life is a series of new beginnings, not a long middle with a disappointing end. Starting over means keeping the wisdom of your past while shedding what no longer fits. You honor the man you were while embracing the one you're becoming. Yes, it's scary. Yes, others might not get it. Yes, you might stumble or doubt your choice. But what's scarier is reaching life's end and realizing you never had the guts to chase the life you truly wanted. Your future self is counting on you now to be brave, to choose possibility over predictability, to build something beautiful with just your hands and an open heart. If you've watched this far, something in you knows this message is for you, not because your life is harder, but because you're ready to see your struggles differently. You're done running from pain and ready to learn from it. You're ready to stop apologizing for feeling deeply and start turning that sensitivity into your unique strength. The Stoics knew what we often forget. We're not victims of our circumstances, but students of our own lives. Every challenge is a lesson tailored for you. Every loss clears space for something better. Every ending is a disguised beginning. Your tears, watching this, aren't weakness. They're your soul recognizing its own strength. Your heart recalling its resilience. Your spirit is waking to its own power. You came into this world with everything needed to face every trial, not easily. Not without wounds or moments of wanting to quit, but with the capacity to prevail. Your hardships aren't proof something's wrong with you. They're evidence you're alive. You care. You're growing into an extraordinary man. As Epictetus said, you're an actor in a play scripted by a greater author. Your role may involve struggle, heartbreak, or starting over, but it's yours to play. The world needs what you bring: your sensitivity, your struggles, your story of breaking and rebuilding. It needs proof that men can survive their worst days and still choose to love, hope, and believe in life's beauty. So, do this now. If this video hit you, hit like as a vow to see your struggles as preparation, not problems. Comment to tell someone they're not alone. Share this with a man whose heart needs these words. Subscribe, because we're building a community of men who see hardship as a door to their true selves. You're not broken, you're unfolding.